ESPN put out, and it is the one stat that could swing or fix every NBA team. And so they're looking at numbers and different things that impacted last year. And so we'll jump to the crux of the matter and what they said about the Memphis Grizzlies. And that is that the one stat that could swing the Memphis Grizzlies is 30.5%. What is 30.5%? You may ask. Is that over his past 3 seasons, Ja Morant has shot just 30.5% from three, which is the worst mark amongst all point guards in that span with a minimum of 500 attempts. Over his entire career, Morant has only made 31.5% of his threes, which is the second worst among active point guards, ahead of only Russell Westbrook being less accurate. Morant has other standout skills, but is simply not a winning formula in the modern space-obsessed NBA. And stop me if you've heard this before on this show, but Ja Morant needs to shoot better from beyond the arc, right, Drew?
Yeah, I mean, that's a broken record at this point. It's bad when the person that's most closely linked to you in terms of 3-point percentage over the past 3 years is nicknamed Westbrick. Okay? Like, it's not good. And it's right. I mean, pace and space is really key. And as good as Ja Morant is, his best quality is getting to the rim. And the best defense about getting to the rim is being able to play off of him a little bit, be able to not let him take one step and be past you. And because he's only shooting 30% from three, you're able to get a little bit closer and maybe get that first step out a little wider, make the path towards the rim a little longer, a bigger arc more than a straight line. And so he's got to do it. You know, he's got to, you're losing Desmond Bane and you're not replacing him with somebody that shoots threes to the level that he does. Listen, Ja Morant's going to be amazing. He's going to be amazing, but I'm not going to say that there's a ceiling to Ja Morant, but if you want to go superstar and you're talking about being the best player on a finals team, you can't have a hole as big as a hole in Ja Morant's game that this 3-point shot is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one thing, like you said, that can help all other aspects of his game is the 3-point shot. I also think the mid-range jumper is something that's been missing from his game for a long time. And, you know, the 30.5, like the 3-point line, yes, that'd be great. But even if Ja just incorporates a consistent midi in his game, like that's still going to make this team infinitely better and open up spacing for guys like Jaren and Zach Edey at the rim if Ja is that mid-range threat because he can stop for a pull-up and then feed one of those guys to get an assist. But I agree. In the NBA today, it is arcing more towards a 3-point league. You know, we saw last year for the first time in the history of the NBA where you had like 2 teams combined to miss over 100 threes in the same game. And it was a Charlotte-Chicago game. And it's the way of the league now. Shocker there. It's the way of the league now. And if Ja Morant and the Grizzlies are going to keep up, he has to develop a 3-point shot.
Yeah. Can you think of an NBA team whose 2 best players has worse looking shooting form than Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant? I mean, at least Jaren's credit, it goes in, so I don't want to change anything. But the mechanics, like I don't see how Ja Morant in year 6, going into year 6 here, like we haven't talked about like changing up the shooting form a little bit. You know, I'm not saying that the way that I was taught was the only way and the best way to shoot. You know, I went to a 3A high school in North Mississippi. I don't pretend to think that I got, you know, Phil Jackson level coaching here. But when you do see shooting form, you look at Steph Curry and Desmond Bane, it's like, God's shot doesn't look like that. And given the notoriety is, I can't believe that we can't get a shooting coach here that can just tweak something because Jordan is capable of making threes. Like it's surprising sometimes to me that his percentages are so bad because you can look at games in which he's 4 of 6 from 3. He's very streaky, but more times than not, he's like 1 of 5. And so you got to think he's there. But the problem to me is like that elbow sticking out. He's not able to get much height on his jump shot, and he's shooting line drives more times than not. And so I just think when it's as important to his game as it is, or it could improve his game as much as it could, like just get a little bit of help here and restructure it a little bit because as athletic as he is, he should be able to take to it pretty quickly, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, him and Jaren both have the same problem. Their shot arc is more of a plane than it is an arc because they both throw the ball at the back of the rim. Jaren's just happens to go in a little bit better. Ja tends to hit the front of the rim. Maybe it's because Jaren's 6'8" inches taller than him, or more. But anyway, I think some of that is the form. You're right, with the way his elbow and side body, it's giving Tony Allen a little bit from back in the day with the way he would shoot threes. But Ja's got to figure out how to be more accurate if the Grizzlies are going to entertain any of the FanDuel odds that you see here on your screen. So FanDuel gave us odds for win totals for the Grizzlies. So remember, they have the win total set at 40.5, Drew, but in order to go over 40.5 or at 40, if you go 45 plus, you get plus 225 odds. If you go over 50, it's plus 625, and over 55 wins, which the Grizzlies have had some 58 win seasons in the past. You can get that right now on FanDuel.com for plus 1,500. Drew, do any of these stand out as odds you would want to take?
Listen, it's directly tied. The correlation between games won and John Morant games played is 1-to-1. Like I think this team without John Morant is not very good, and the team with John Morant should be competing for home field advantage in the West. Like that's where I'm at, and that's where I've been at forever. You know, I just think that he is the most integral part of any and most integral player for any team in the NBA. Like it just comes and goes with him. If you tell me John Morant plays 67 games, then I'm going to like that plus 625 number because I think the team around him is good enough to be 500 or a touch under when he doesn't play. And when he does play, if he plays 65 to 70 games, I mean, that's not even asking a lot, 65, 70 games of an 82 game season. I think the Grizzlies could compete for that 50-plus win mark.
Agreed. I feel like 50 plus is a safe bet. 55, you're probably, pushing it a little bit. But I think there is a world where if everybody stays healthy, Ja figures out three-point shooting, or Jaren can be that three-point shooting threat that he is. And if Cedric Coward hits or Jalen Wells continues to flourish or KCP is who we think he is, 52 wins is very, very capable. Like that's a 52 and 30 is a real possibility for this team.
So 1, 2, 3, 8 teams in the NBA last season had 50 or more wins. So, and then more than 55 or more wins, there was just 3. Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City are the only teams that went over 55 last year, and the Thunder won 68, the Celtics won 61, and the Cavaliers won 64. So anybody who went over 55 also went over 60.
That's good math. That's good math. So.